Lesson 1, Lifelong Friends.
You know, Anna, it just occurred to me that we've been friends for such a long time now. I think we first met when we were just 5 years old, didn't we?
You're absolutely right, John. It's hard to believe it's been that long. We've known each other for practically our entire lives.
It's crazy to think about. We've been through so much together over the years: school, relationships, all sorts of life events.
Definitely. We've seen each other grow up and change in so many ways. But through it all, our friendship has remained strong.
Absolutely. No matter what's happened, we've always been there for each other. That kind of bond is so special.
I couldn't agree more. I feel so lucky to have you as a lifelong friend, John. You've been by my side through thick and thin.
Likewise, Anna. Our friendship is truly one of the most valuable things in my life. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Ah, John, that's so sweet of you to say. I feel the exact same way. We've created so many wonderful memories together.
We really have. And I can't wait to make even more amazing memories as we continue on this journey of life side by side.
Lesson 2, Expanding Horizons.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to ask you about something I heard. I heard that the University of Regina is expanding into Manitoba. Have you heard about that?
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that. That's quite interesting. What exactly does that entail?
Well, from what I understand, the University of Regina is actually moving some of its programs and operations across the provincial border into Manitoba.
Wow, that's quite a move. I wonder what the reasoning is behind that decision. Is it to expand their reach and attract more students?
That's a good question. I believe it has to do with the University of Regina wanting to increase its presence in the region and offer more options to students.
I see. And I assume this is being done in collaboration with the University of Manitoba or other Manitoba-based institutions?
Exactly. It seems like a joint effort to bolster post-secondary education opportunities in that part of the country.
That's really fascinating. I imagine there must be a lot of logistics and coordination involved in making something like that happen.
Absolutely. It's not a small undertaking, that's for sure. But it could be a great way to strengthen ties between Saskatchewan and Manitoba.
Definitely. Expanding educational options and fostering that kind of regional collaboration is really important.
I agree. It will be interesting to see how this all unfolds and what kind of impact it has. It's an exciting development, for sure.
Lesson 3, Culinary Delights.
Hey, Anna, I'm curious, have you tried any new and interesting dishes lately?
As a matter of fact, I have. Just yesterday, I made a delicious stir-fry for dinner.
Ooh, a stir fry, huh? That sounds really tasty. What kind of ingredients did you use?
Well, I started with some fresh veggies, bell peppers, broccoli, and mushrooms. Then I added in some chicken and a savory sauce.
That sounds like the perfect combination of flavors and textures. Stir fries are such a great way to pack in a lot of nutrition.
Definitely. And the best part is, they're so quick and easy to throw together. Perfect for a weeknight meal.
Absolutely. I love how versatile stir fries can be, too. You can use all sorts of different proteins in produce.
Exactly. I'm always experimenting and trying new ingredient combinations. It's a great way to keep mealtimes interesting.
I can imagine. Have you discovered any other new favorite dishes or recipes recently?
Let me think. Oh, I did make a really delicious risotto the other day as well. So creamy and flavorful.
Risotto, huh? That's one of those dishes that can be a bit tricky to get just right.
You're right about that. But when you nail the technique, it's so worth it. The results are so satisfying.
I can only imagine. Risotto is definitely one of those dishes that feels really fancy and special.
Absolutely. It's the perfect thing to make when you want to treat yourself to a nice, elevated meal at home.
Well, it sounds like you've been whipping up all sorts of culinary delights lately, Anna. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Haha, well, you're more than welcome to come over and I'll cook up something tasty for you.
I might just have to take you up on that offer. Can't pass up a home cooked meal, especially one made by a skilled chef like yourself.
Lesson 4: The Paradox of Visibility.
You know, Anna, I was reading an interesting article the other day about the impact of technology on the world of sports.
Oh, really? What did the article say? I'm curious to hear your take on it.
Well, the article discussed this kind of paradox that's emerged. On one hand, technology has made sports more visible and accessible to more people.
I see. That makes sense. With things like live streaming and social media, people can follow and engage with sports like never before.
Exactly. But the article also suggested that this increased visibility may have come at the expense of some other important aspects.
That is interesting. What do you mean by that? What kinds of things might have been compromised?
Well, the article argued that the drive for constant coverage and content may have overshadowed things like the athlete's experience or the integrity of the sport itself.
I see what you mean. So the relentless need for new and engaging content could potentially distort or undermine the essence of the sport.
Precisely. The article posited that the hypervisibility and commercialization brought on by technology might be impacting the sport in subtle but significant ways.
That's a really fascinating perspective. I can see how that could be a valid concern, even as technology expands the reach and accessibility of sports.
Absolutely. It's this kind of nuanced, double-edged impact that the article was exploring. The pros and cons of this increased visibility.
It's a great example of how technological advancement doesn't always have a simple, straightforward impact. There can be unintended consequences to consider.
Exactly. It's a complex issue without any easy answers. But it's an important one to think about, especially for those of us who love and follow sports.
I agree. These are the kinds of thoughtful discussions that can really deepen our understanding of the evolving landscape of sports and media.
Well said, Anna. It's a thought-provoking topic, for sure. Lots to unpack and consider.
Lesson 5: The Rewards of Service.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to ask you about something I heard regarding government officials and compensation.
Oh? What have you heard, John? I'm curious to learn more.
Well, I read that there's been some discussion about providing better recompense for those who serve in government roles.
That's an interesting topic. What kind of recompense are they looking at exactly?
From what I gather, there's been talk of offering additional benefits or compensation to recognize the sacrifices made by government employees.
I see. That makes sense. Public service can often come at a personal cost, so providing appropriate recompense is important.
Exactly. The idea is to better acknowledge and reward the hard work and dedication of those who choose to serve their community or country.
That's a thoughtful approach. Government work can be quite demanding, both in terms of time and personal sacrifices.
Absolutely. These individuals are making significant contributions, so ensuring they are properly supported and incentivized is key.
I agree. It sends an important message that their service and sacrifice are truly valued and appreciated.
Precisely. It's a way to attract and retain talented individuals who might otherwise be drawn to higher paying jobs in the private sector.
That's a good point. Offering competitive compensation can help make public service a more attractive and viable long-term career option.
Exactly. It's all about creating an environment where people feel their efforts are being duly recognized and rewarded.
That makes a lot of sense. It's a thoughtful approach to supporting those who dedicate themselves to public service.
Definitely. It's an interesting development, and I'm curious to see how it all unfolds in terms of implementation and impact.
Lesson 6: Maintaining Balance.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to get your thoughts on something I've been thinking about lately: the importance of maintaining a healthy work life balance.
That's a great topic, John. It's something I've been reflecting on as well, especially with the demands of our fast-paced world.
Absolutely. It can be so easy to get caught up in the grind and let work consume every aspect of our lives.
You're so right. And I think it's something a lot of us struggle with, trying to find that elusive balance.
Exactly. We have to be intentional about setting boundaries and making time for the other important parts of our lives.
Definitely. It's not always easy, but it's so crucial for our overall well-being and happiness.
I agree. When we neglect that balance, it can lead to burnout, stress, and a whole host of other issues.
Absolutely. And it's not just about work, it's also about making time for our relationships, hobbies, and self-care.
You make an excellent point. It's a holistic kind of balance that we need to strive for.
Exactly. We have to remember that we're not just workers or professionals, we're whole human beings with diverse needs and desires.
Precisely. It's about finding ways to nurture all the different facets of our lives, not just the work-related ones.
Definitely. And I think recognizing the importance of that balance is the first step. Then it's about being proactive and making it a priority.
Well said. It takes a conscious effort, but the payoffs in terms of our well-being and productivity can be immense.
Absolutely. It's all about finding what works best for each of us and then sticking to it.
Agreed. It's a journey, but one that's so worth embarking on for the sake of our overall health and happiness.
Lesson 7: Courteous Conduct.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to ask you about something I noticed at the cafe the other day. Have you ever noticed the sign they have about limiting device usage?
Oh, yes, I've seen that. I think it's a really thoughtful and considerate policy they have in place.
Definitely. I thought it was a great way to promote a more courteous and considerate environment for everyone.
I agree. It's important to be mindful of how our device usage can impact those around us, especially in shared public spaces.
Absolutely. The cafe's policy of asking guests to limit their usage to 30 minutes if there's a line seems very reasonable.
Definitely. It's a nice way to ensure everyone has a fair chance to enjoy the space and the services without feeling overwhelmed by constant device use.
Exactly. It strikes a nice balance between allowing people to use their devices while also being considerate of others.
Definitely. I think small gestures like that can go a long way in creating a more pleasant and harmonious environment for everyone.
I agree. It's a subtle but important way to encourage a sense of community and shared responsibility.
Exactly. And it's not just about device usage, I think it's a good reminder to be mindful of our conduct in general when we're in public spaces.
Absolutely. Things like being courteous to others, keeping noise levels down, and being considerate of shared resources are also important.
Definitely. It's all about having that basic awareness and respect for those around us, even in small, everyday situations.
Well said. Those little gestures of courtesy and consideration can make a big difference in how we all experience public spaces.
Definitely. It's a great example of how we can all contribute to creating a more pleasant and harmonious environment for everyone.
Absolutely. It's a good lesson for all of us to keep in mind, no matter where we are or what we're doing.
Lesson 8: Reaching for the Stars.
Hey, Anna, I have a question for you. How many stars do you think we should aim for when rating a restaurant or service?
That's an interesting question, John. What do you think? Do you think 3 stars is a good target to shoot for?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. 3 stars seems like a good middle ground, don't you think?
I agree. 3 stars usually indicates a solid, reliable experience. Anything more than that might be a bit unrealistic for most places.
Definitely. I feel like 4 or 5 stars are reserved for truly exceptional, world-class establishments.
Absolutely. Those higher ratings are hard to come by and often quite subjective.
You make a good point. 3 stars is a nice sweet spot where the quality is high but still attainable for many businesses.
Exactly. It shows they're doing a great job without being overly perfectionistic about it.
I like that perspective. 3 stars is a good balance of setting the bar high but not unattainably so.
Precisely. It's a rating that communicates consistently good without being overly exclusive.
I agree. 3 stars feels like a fair and achievable goal for most service providers to strive for.
Definitely. It's a rating that can be reasonably earned through hard work and dedication.
Agreed. And it still leaves room for those exceptional places to really stand out with 4 or 5 stars.
Absolutely. It creates a nice hierarchy that makes sense and is easy for consumers to understand.
Exactly. 3 stars, that's the sweet spot we should all be aiming for.
Lesson 9: Healthy Habits.
Hey, Anna, I've noticed you've been making some changes to your lifestyle lately. It's great to see you taking your health seriously.
Thanks, John. Yes, I've been trying to be more intentional about adopting healthier habits. It's not always easy, but I'm feeling good about the progress so far.
That's awesome. What kinds of changes have you been making?
Well, I've been trying to get in more exercise, whether it's going for walks, doing some light strength training, or even just stretching more regularly.
That's fantastic. Staying active is so important for overall wellness.
Definitely. And I've also been making some adjustments to my diet, focusing on more whole, nutrient-dense foods.
That's great to hear. Fueling your body with the right foods can make a big difference.
Absolutely. It's been a bit of a learning curve, but I'm enjoying trying new healthy recipes and finding foods that make me feel good.
That's wonderful. It's so important to find that balance between nutrition and enjoyment.
Exactly. I don't want to be too restrictive, but I do want to make sure I'm nourishing my body properly.
Sounds like a really healthy approach. It's all about finding what works best for you and your lifestyle.
Definitely. And I have to say, I'm already starting to notice some positive changes, both physically and mentally.
That's fantastic. It's so rewarding when you start to see the benefits of those healthy habits.
Absolutely. It really motivates me to keep going and to continue expanding my healthy routines.
I'm glad to hear it. Wishing you all the best with your health and wellness goals, Anna.
Lesson 10: Empowering Perspectives.
Hey, Anna, I wanted to thank you for that inspiring conversation we had the other day. It's really got me thinking about the power of perspective.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, John. Perspective can indeed have such a profound impact on how we view the world and our place in it.
Definitely. The way we frame our experiences and challenges can make all the difference in how we approach them.
Exactly. It's amazing how shifting our mindset can change the entire trajectory of our lives.
I couldn't agree more. It's almost as if perspective has the power to change lives.
Absolutely. When we open ourselves up to new ways of thinking, it can truly be transformative.
I've been reflecting a lot on our discussion, and I feel like I've gained a renewed sense of optimism and empowerment.
That's wonderful to hear, John. Adopting a more empowered perspective can be so liberating.
It really has been. I feel like I'm approaching challenges with a more proactive and solutions oriented mindset.
That's fantastic. It's amazing what a difference a shift in perspective can make.
Definitely. I'm grateful to have had the chance to explore these ideas with you, Anna.
I'm so glad I could be a part of that journey for you, John. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. This has been a truly enriching and empowering conversation.
I'm thrilled to hear that, John. May your newfound perspective continue to serve you well.
I have no doubt that it will. Thank you again, Anna. This has been wonderful.
Lesson 11, Editing Excellence.
Hey, Anna, I noticed you've been carrying around that fancy camera of yours. Are you a photography buff?
Oh, yes. I love capturing little moments and details with my camera. And I actually use editing software to really make the photos pop.
That's so cool. I had no idea you were into photo editing as well. What kind of editing do you typically do?
Well, I like to play around with things like adjusting the lighting, enhancing the colors, and even removing small blemishes or distractions from the frame.
Wow, that sounds really impressive. I bet it makes a big difference in the final product.
Definitely. It's amazing how much a little editing can elevate a photo. It's like giving it that extra something.
I can see the appeal. Do you have any favorite editing techniques or tools you like to use?
Oh, I've tried out quite a few. Right now, I'm really digging the ability to selectively enhance certain areas of the image.
That's super interesting. It must give you a lot of creative control over the final look and feel.
Absolutely. It's like being able to put my own artistic stamp on the photos I take.
That's really cool, Anna. I'd love to see some of your edited photos sometime, if you're willing to share.
I would be more than happy to. I'm always excited to show off my work and get feedback.
Wonderful. I can't wait to see the magic you work with your camera and editing software.
Great. I'll make sure to bring some of my favorites to share with you next time.
Sounds like a plan. I'm really looking forward to it, Anna. This is such an intriguing hobby of yours.
I'm glad you're interested, John. Photography and editing have become a real passion of mine.
I can tell. It's awesome to see you so excited about it. I'm sure I'll learn a lot from you.
Lesson 12, Pursuing Passions.
Hey, Anna, I've been meaning to ask you, have you ever thought about taking up a new hobby or activity?
You know, I have actually been considering that lately. I feel like it could be a great way to try something new and fun.
That's awesome. Do you have any particular interests or activities in mind that you'd want to explore?
Well, I've been really intrigued by the idea of joining a local photography club or maybe even taking a class to improve my skills.
That's a great idea. A photography club would be a perfect way to connect with like minded people and learn from each other.
Exactly. I think it would be a wonderful way to expand my knowledge and get inspired by other photographers.
Definitely. And a class could be super helpful for taking your editing and composition to the next level.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about the prospect of diving deeper into this creative passion of mine.
That's so great to hear, Anna. Pursuing your interests and finding fulfilling hobbies can be so rewarding.
I agree. It feels like the perfect time to try something new and push myself outside of my comfort zone.
I love that attitude. Taking that first step can be the hardest part, but the benefits are so worth it.
You're right. I think I'm going to start looking into local photography groups and classes. It's time to get started.
Wonderful. I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic time exploring this passion of yours.
Thanks, John. I really appreciate your encouragement. It means a lot to have your support.
Anytime, Anna. I'm excited to see where this new hobby takes you. It's going to be great.
I can't wait. This is going to be the start of a really rewarding journey, I just know it.
I have no doubt about that. Go for it, Anna. I'll be cheering you on every step of the way.
Lesson 13, Homemade versus Commercial Cookies.
Hey Anna, I was at the grocery store the other day and noticed this new line of homestyle cookies.
Oh, really? What did you think of them? Were they any good?
Well, that's the thing, I'm not sure if they actually taste anything like homemade cookies.
That's interesting. A lot of commercial brands try to market their products as being more homemade these days.
Exactly. I'm always a bit skeptical of those claims, to be honest. It's hard to replicate that authentic homemade flavor.
I agree. There's something special about cookies that are baked from scratch, using real, high-quality ingredients.
Definitely. Those store-bought ones, no matter how they're marketed, tend to have a more mass-produced taste.
Totally. The texture and overall experience just doesn't compare to homemade cookies.
Agreed. I much prefer the imperfections and unique character of homemade baked goods.
Same here. There's just something so comforting and satisfying about homemade cookies.
Absolutely. I don't think any commercial product can ever really capture that homemade essence.
You're right. It's like they're trying to imitate something that's inherently more authentic and heartfelt.
Precisely. I'll stick to baking my own cookies at home whenever I can. It's just a better experience all around.
I couldn't agree more. Homemade will always be superior, in my opinion. Nothing compares to that fresh baked goodness.
Completely. I'm glad we see eye to eye on this. Homemade cookies for the win.
Definitely. Nothing beats that homemade taste and love that goes into every batch.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Now you've got me craving some freshly baked cookies.
Haha, me too. Looks like we'll both be doing some baking in the near future.
Sounds like a plan. I'll have to share my favorite recipe with you sometime.
Please do. I'm always on the lookout for new homemade cookie ideas.
Absolutely. Homemade all the way, that's my motto when it comes to cookies.
Lesson 14, Favorite Desserts.
Hey Anna, I noticed you had some fresh fruit for dessert the other night.
Oh, that's right. I love having something light and healthy after a meal.
Me too. But sometimes I just crave something a little sweeter, you know?
Definitely. What's your go-to dessert when you're feeling like indulging?
That's a tough one. I'd have to say homemade apple pie is my absolute favorite.
Ooh, nice choice. There's nothing quite like a warm slice of apple pie with vanilla ice cream.
Exactly. The sweet, cinnamon Y apples paired with that creamy ice cream, it's heavenly.
I can imagine. I'm more of a chocolate person myself. Brownies or a rich chocolate cake really hit the spot.
Ah, a classic. You can never go wrong with chocolate desserts. They're so satisfying.
Totally. And then there are times when I just want something simple, like fresh berries or a bowl of ice cream.
Good point. Sometimes the simplest desserts can be the most refreshing.
Definitely. It really just depends on my mood and what I'm craving at the moment.
Exactly. There's room for all kinds of delicious desserts in my book.
Absolutely. The best part is getting to sample a little bit of everything.
You got that right. Variety is the spice of life when it comes to desserts.
Haha, well said. Now you've got me craving something sweet again.
Me too. Guess we'll both be hitting up the kitchen for a tasty treat soon.
Sounds like a plan. I'll have to share my favorite chocolate cake recipe with you.
Please do. And I'll return the favor with my famous apple pie. Deal?